With more than 3 billion searches a month, it's no wonder why YouTube is the second largest search engine on the planet, just behind the parent company Google. YouTube, since its creation, has always been the world's most dominant creator platform. For the past 2 decades, we've seen thousands of creators rise and take advantage of the YouTube algorithm to create a sustainable career for themselves. And let's be totally honest here, since YouTube's inception, all of us has always wanted to be a creator on the YouTube platform. However, with the rise of TikTok, or maybe not if the ban does go through in the US, and the falling interest of smaller creators, YouTube's monopolistic grasp on the creator platform is starting to finally crack. But how did we get here? How's YouTube's monopoly on this industry finally cracking? And what does this mean for you? Well, to start off, we have to understand why YouTube is a monopoly in the first place. As described by my high school textbook, a monopoly is a market structure where a single seller or producer assumes a dominant position in an industry or a sector. Now, for those who just don't know economics, the number one reason why people are so scared of monopolies is because of their controlling nature behind it. Monopolies de-incentivize competition and prevent anyone from trying to enter the market. But there are 2 types of monopolies that you need to know. Ones that are aggressive and ones that naturally just form. Trust me, I have a degree in business, so I think I understand 60% of the stuff I'm actually saying, you know. Unlike other monopolies that took a really aggressive approach, YouTube naturally became one because of their consumer preference. There have been other competitors like Vimeo that tried to be a creator platform but just happened to fall out and fall short against YouTube. And this is because a lot of consumers, including viewers and creators, just prefer YouTube. The number one reason why YouTube is the preferred platform is just because of the amazing community between the creators and the viewers back then. A lot of people felt connected and real with the creators, and YouTube really promoted it back then. I mean, as shown from the YouTube rewinds from 2012 to 2014, those were like the peak years of YouTube. A lot of people just wanted to be part of that growing community, and YouTube fully supported it. Another reason why YouTube was the preferred platform was just because creators were often promoted. During the golden era of YouTube, smaller creators were actually promoted on YouTube's homepage, and this just made it so much easier for these creators to grow and develop a really loyal audience. And this gave so much incentive for a lot of people to become their own creators on the platform, and this gave rise to so many of the biggest creators that we just know today. And the last reason why YouTube was the preferred platform back then was just because how disruptive they were when it comes to managing the attention span of their audience. Everyone back then really thought YouTube was a huge disruptor in the entertainment industry. Back then, it was so much easier to watch a 10 to 15 minute video that was so much shorter than a 1 to 2 hour length movie. It's just a never-ending cycle of dopamine, and everyone was just really hooked on it back then. This disruption allowed YouTube to redefine on how to maintain an audience attention span and how to monetize it. But this disruption will actually bite them back later on their downfall. Over time, as YouTube began to realize the influx of new creators coming onto their platform, all of the support that they've created in the past few years just died off. The 2015 to 2019 era was one of the worst times for YouTube, and a lot of creators just did not find a lot of growth. The way you monetize videos was different. You can easily get strike down for a video that you upload, and the worst of it, smaller creators aren't getting promoted as big as bigger creators back then. YouTube became so oppressive to smaller creators where there's just no chance for them to grow at all. As mentioned before, being a monopoly in the creator platform industry caused a huge amount of problems. The lack of competition in the market gave YouTube so much power where they just didn't care to update anything, add new features, or change up the market a little bit to make it a lot more sustainable for smaller creators. Being market leaders and essentially a monopoly gave them so much power to dictate what they can actually do. Without competition, the inspiration for innovation does not exist. And this is why if you were there in the 2015 to 2019 era of YouTube, it just felt really boring and just lackluster. It felt everything was just the same as before. But this is where it backfired. Yes, YouTube did grow to the massive size they are today just through an oppressive approach, but the yearn for smaller creators to make it on a platform like YouTube was hastily growing. This small bubble that YouTube has created eventually blown up to the point where anything that can destabilize the creator platform market would just pop it, and that's exactly what happened. I don't need to introduce on how big TikTok has become in the past 4 years. Their entry into the creator platform changed how we viewed entertainment, just like how we viewed entertainment back then when YouTube first entered. TikTok actually became a safe haven for a lot of these neglected small creators that just wanted to make it big on the creator platform. With this new type of video platform that rivals YouTube, TikTok implemented a lot of features to encourage these forgotten creators to make the content that they've always wanted. One great example is how TikTok often pushes out new creators' videos. By pushing out these new creators to thousands of people that may like the video, this gave a lot of reason for these new creators to believe that, hey, their content is actually really good, and they're more incentivized to actually push more content out. While you compare this on YouTube back then, you're probably lucky enough to hit 1,000 views on one video out of 100 videos. TikTok has realized this bubble that YouTube has created and took full advantage of it. As the TikTok CEO said it himself, TikTok is a place where they successfully transformed hundreds of thousands of individuals, businesses, and creators on the platform. And this is where YouTube f***ed up big time. YouTube's ignorance to help the small guy killed their momentum as the dominant creator platform. Oh, and remember when I said that YouTube set the standard of lowering people's attention span? Well, throw it out of the window, because that does not apply to YouTube at all anymore. This double-edged sword that YouTube has created was actually shown from a creator platform long before TikTok, which was actually Vine. Vine almost disrupted YouTube's dominance as the #1 creator platform. And more importantly, they show that YouTube's monopoly can be destroyed and it's not impenetrable. With the focus on creating 6-second videos, this shows that people's attention spans can actually go much lower than the standards that YouTube has set out. Eventually, Vine did shut down and fail, but TikTok and other short-form platforms took their place and led the charge in continuing to lower people's attention span. Even with all these signs of downfall, YouTube is actually making a change. One of the biggest changes YouTube has done was to promote smaller creators again. Nowadays, when you go onto the YouTube homepage, you'll probably notice that there's actually smaller creators that are being promoted alongside bigger creators. YouTube is actually giving more chances for smaller creators to make it big on YouTube. And this is because YouTube just wants to capture all those small creators that they've lost earlier. The next big change that YouTube implemented into their system was including the impressions tab in their analytics section. If you go to YouTube Studios and click on any of your videos, you'll actually notice that there's a thing called impressions. YouTube is actually now showing you how many people are getting your videos pushed out to. You now have a better understanding of how your content is being pushed out and how you can continue your growth. The changes that YouTube has made with their own system is something similar to what TikTok is doing with their own creators. YouTube nowadays is trying to encourage their smaller creators that they're actually making really good progress with their own growth on YouTube, and more importantly, that they should start creating more content. Of course, as a smaller creator, this is really good news for you. You actually have the chance to make it really big on YouTube and have your creative ideas shown to an audience. However, if you're still kind of unsure on the steps you need to take to become successful on YouTube, why don't you just book a call with me with the link in my description. I'll actually help you grow your YouTube channel to be very successful, especially with these new features that YouTube has implemented. So why not just take this opportunity and just book a call, because I can definitely help you out. With all that being said, with all of these changes, YouTube is really trying their best to recover the losses that they've created for themselves. It's really hard to say if all of these changes that YouTube has made will actually save them in the long run. But one thing is definitely for sure, YouTube is not the fortress it used to be, and now it's trying to play catch up as the #1 creator platform against a lot of other short form content creating platforms. There is actually one more reason why YouTube is promoting a lot more smaller creators, but I can't really say it in this video because it kind of really does deserve its own video. So if you want to see that video when it's uploaded, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. And other than that, if you really want to kill on YouTube, you should do it right now.